Look who's back. Jon and Jim. Off-season edition of the wrap-up show. We're taking a look at 2023 for the Padres. What is that noise? Oh, my bad. It's been a while. It's been a week. All right, we're with you here for the next 30 minutes or so. Happy Halloween. World Series is going on. Padres obviously are done. We're looking ahead now to 2023. It's been about a week or so. So we got you covered. Please subscribe. If you're watching this live or on replay, please subscribe. We have year-round Padres content for you. Smash the like button for us. You can follow us on Twitter at Jon Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. Also, make sure to consider becoming a member by clicking the join button down below. If you have a specific question about 2023, you can also hit the super button in the chat box down below. Well, we'll get to all the supers here today. Shut the hell up, Jim. I hate you.
Can you even talk?
No, these are the new headphones I got from our viewer.
So blame the headphones.
I'm blaming the headphones.
You're blaming you're blaming our loyal viewers. Good job.
No, but thank you. I forget who it is.
Even better.
So here we are into the offseason, Jim. We had Kevin Acey on the show on Friday. He said some interesting things on Friday, including something about Manny Machado heading into 2024. At the end of 2023, he said that opt-out is a very real possibility. But heading into 2023, where do you want to start in terms of priorities for the Padres?
Well, I think we should start with the free agents that they have on the team right now. Like, who is the most important to bring back? Because that's where you have to start. You made the NLCS. Without some of these guys, you don't get there. And I think without some of these guys next year, it's going to be hard to repeat. So I think that's where I would start. Not like, not like Aaron Judge or Shohei Ohtani or like some name that's like unattainable, like Nick Martinez and Jurickson Profar, and who is going to be your first baseman, and Robert Suarez is a big name. So yeah, those names there, like that's where I would start.
Right. So it starts with which of these players are going to return in 2023. I mean, if you run through them, I saw an MLB.com article about Robert Suarez likely opting out based on his season, which would make sense. There was some speculation that Nick Martinez and Jurickson Profar could opt in. Obviously, that's just speculation. At this point, if it was up to me, if I was looking for one opt-in, I'd start with Robert Suarez. I say that. I'd probably start with Nick Martinez. I'd go from Nick Martinez to Robert Suarez. Those would be my top two.
Mine too. I think when you look at...
Hold on, I'll be right back. My dog is so annoying.
Of course. John's going to literally murder his dog. Great way to start. Great way to start. Oh, man. Okay.
If anyone wants a dog, they can have one.
I was going to say, geez, don't like murder your dog.
I probably won't.
You probably won't have a dog by the end of the show.
No, I probably won't murder him.
Okay. That's good.
What were we talking about? Martinez and Suarez. Quan says are a must retain. I'd love to have them both back. I'm sure Padres fans would by and large as well.
Yeah, and if you're looking at all of the free agents, you don't want to bring everyone back because then you're just running it back. And I think if you run it back, who knows what happens? Like the same result. I don't even know if they get to the NLCS. You need to upgrade. Tatis is a huge upgrade when he gets back, but you need more pitching. You need better pitching. You need a fifth starter that's consistent, fourth and fifth starters that are consistent. I think Nick Martinez can fill that role, but it's all dependent on how much Nick Martinez is going to cost. Like, he's not going to opt in to his $5 million contract. Robert Suarez is not going to opt in to his deal. Like, they're going to want a good payday. And are you willing to give them that?
What's going on in your place? You guys like keeping birds or dogs like in a cage somewhere?
Yes.
Because I hear them.
Yes.
Jim, you say that Judge and Ohtani are unattainable. Wasn't Soto unattainable? I don't understand the Judge thing. I mean, what's the purpose here? Going to put Aaron Judge in center field? I mean, I understand the purpose, but he's going to get like $45 million a year, so that's not realistic. The thing with Soto is they got him when he's still arbitration eligible. He's not making $50 million a year. And the Ohtani thing is like, with what capital Not to mention the fact that we talked about this Friday. I mean, he hasn't even been offered an extension from the Angels. You know that's going to come before he's moved. But with what money are you going to give to Ohtani, and with what prospect capital are you going to acquire Shohei Ohtani with?
You're not. End of the discussion. Like, that's it. You're not getting Ohtani. You're not getting Aaron Judge. Stop it.
Yeah, I just don't see that. I don't see DeGrom. I mean, they're already like 180 million in the hole heading into 2023, and this doesn't include players like Martinez, Suarez, Drury, Bell, arbitration eligible players that will make more money. Juan Soto, Josh Hader, right? Soto's making more. Hader's making more. So there's going to be not a lot of money to be spent. Kevin Acee talked about the fact that Seidler can go over, but he's never going to spend 250 and he's never going to spend 300. So if he's never spending 250 and he's not spending 300, with what money is Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani going to keep you under 230? It just, the math I don't think is going to make sense.
They're pipe dreams, and yeah, I get it. They got Soto, that's great, but they spent all of their capital to get Soto.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's end of discussion. I think the master plan for the years to come was Tatis, Soto, and Manny. You're not going to all of a sudden say, you know what, we need Aaron Judge and we need Shohei Ohtani now too. Like, yeah, they'd be great. Obviously, every team would want them, but that's not like, no. If you want to build out a complete roster, you can't go out and have a top heavy 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I agree with that, especially position player wise. You're already spending a lot in your rotation. As you make your way in, subscribe, please. Whether you're here live or on replay, smash the like button for us. Follow us on Twitter at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. We appreciate all the super chats as well. Great way to support this channel. We'll get to all of the super chats as always. We will thank our partners on the wrap up show in a moment, coming up as well on this Halloween. We've got about 30 minutes for you here today because Jim and I actually have to get to a Halloween event at iHeart San Diego.
Are you going to bring that shirt? Is it clean?
This isn't the shirt I'm wearing.
No, the other shirt.
It's quasi clean.
I hate you.
Dude, you have to wear it for 15 minutes. As in, bring another outfit. You're not wearing it all day. You're just wearing it for this thing. You're not wearing it like in studio. I'm changing after the Halloween party.
Oh my God, you're so soft.
You're going to wear my Aztec polo for the entire day? Why?
You're right. I don't want to.
We don't see anyone. Quan, thank you for your membership and for the comment. He says Tatis playing right, moving Soto to left is an upgrade from losing Profar. That would be. Just Tatis returning is an upgrade over whomever.
Yeah. And Profar is a pretty valuable piece for depth. And I don't know if he's gonna. I mean, he had one of his better seasons in the big leagues.
Mm-hmm.
And this might be his last opportunity to get a big time contract. So I don't know if he'll opt in. I think of all of the three guys, Profar, Martinez, Suarez, that I think would be huge to retain all three of those guys. Everybody else that's a free agent, honestly, like I can deal with it and I can understand it.
Mm-hmm. Wait, who are your three? Suarez, Martinez, and who?
Of all the free agents, the guys that I think are must returns are Profar, Martinez, and Suarez.
I don't think Profar's a must return for me. It'd be a nice return, but I'm not losing sleep, right? I mean, you think he's the difference between winning big?
I mean, he's a good piece.
Yeah, bless you. I mean, I thought, and the streak continues. I mean, I think he's a nice. You're in like a rock and a hard place. Like he's a really good like fourth outfielder, but why would you pay a fourth outfielder like $9 million a year?
Yeah, you wouldn't. And they're all opting out. Starter. I would be surprised if any one of those three opt back in.
Nice year. I mean, 111 OPS plus. He had a nice year. His career OPS plus is 94, which is below league average. It was a good year. I mean, is he going to replicate it next year? I guess he could. He's represented by Scott Boras. I mean, I think, yeah, to your point, I mean, I could absolutely see him opting out.
Yeah, but I think rank them: Martinez, Suarez, and Profar. 1, 2, 3.
I think in that order. Because Martinez could be a fourth or fifth starter, so he could give you 150 innings. Say, well, how could he give you 150 innings? He threw 110 this year. So it's not crazy that he could get a bump of 25%. He could throw 130 or 140 as a starter. He could be a back end piece if you need him to be. He could be a long guy if you need him to be. So he just has a lot of value over the course of the regular season. Who's the most valuable in the postseason? Robert Suarez. Based on what we saw this postseason, forget about the Bryce Harper moment. I mean, Suarez was pitching in big spots, and then like Jurickson Profar. What did he do in the postseason? I don't even remember. Anything to remember?
He had a go ahead RBI single versus the Dodgers in Game 2.
Oh, great, lifetime deal.
You're right. No, he didn't do anything like crazy. He had a couple good moments. But yeah, no, I agree. Pitching is the key to everything here. And not only is it key to bring back Martinez and Suarez, you need to like also add on a lot, because who knows what's going to happen in a regular season. And if you look at next year at this time next year and you see that Reese Kinnear made like 15 starts, something happened. Something wrong happened.
Yeah. I don't know. I think their fifth starter is going to be someone in the Weathers, Kinnear, Morahone, Jake Room ilk. I really believe that. Like, I think that's who they start the year as a fifth starter with. Because like Will says, okay, Carlos Rodon. First of all, is it a player option? Is that what he has into 2023?
It's a player option.
Okay, so you can opt out. If he's opting out, guys, so Will, he's owed 22 next year, or a little more than 22 next year.
I think the Giants, the Giants gave him like a 2-year. It was basically like a 1-year show me deal.
Dude, and if you got like it's 2 years, $45 million.
Well, because it was a opt out for the first year. And so if he did well the first year, he can make a $150-200 million contract potentially.
Right. So let's run through that, Will. Like if Carlos Rodon opts out and turns away $23 million next year from the Giants, he wants what? 25 to 30 and multiple years.
Yeah, not happening.
So let's give him 30 years, or excuse me, 30 million. 30 years would be amazing. That would be the Profar deal that Jim wants to give. 30 million for 3 years. Okay, he just did 2 for 44. So he probably wants what? 3 for 75 to 3 for 90 at a minimum.
By the way,
he had a 2.8 ERA. I mean, I don't know where they're getting this money.
Weren't you the one that was like super concerned about Profar opting out of this year?
That was an act.
Wow.
I mean, now that I remember that Tatis is coming back and Tatis is going to play in the outfield.
You're so soft.
I mean, really, if I was the Padres, he's got a great relationship with Tatis. I don't think I'm overly concerned about whether Profar is returning or not. I don't know. Like, okay, if you have Profar and you have Tatis, well, you got Grisham.
How about this? Would you do this? Would you, because the Padres need a first baseman, would you have Profar play first base or no?
I mean, I guess you could. What's your reasoning there to have an average big league hitter play first? Just because you have him?
No, my reasoning is if you bring him back, like you're thinking, where are you going to play him, right?
A little bit.
Jesus. Could you swallow any louder?
Let me try.
Oh my God, that's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard you ever do.
Hold on.
Dude. God.
Oh man, we're back.
Yeah, we are.
What were we talking about?
Profar, like where he would play. Like if you put Tatis in left and you put Soto in right and you put Grisham in center, you could put Profar in center some days. You can put Profar at first. You could put Profar in left field, and put Tatis at the DH spot.
I thought you're Mr. Add Slug, and now you're going to play Profar every day at first?
That wouldn't be the only move, idiot.
Well, okay, give me your other move. Give me your move. Now that you have Tatis in the field, and you have Soto in the field, and you have Machado, and you have Kim, and you have Cronenworth. I can't wait to hear this move.
I'm literally just talking about the Padres' current free agents that they have on their team. I'm not talking about any other free agents.
But I'm saying, but there's no room for anyone else to add Slug. If you're going to play Profar every day and you're going to play Tatis every day.
You won't play Profar every day. I'm talking about he's a super utility guy.
Super utility first baseman. Again, that's fine. And what's he supposed to make? 7 or 8 million?
Sure. Like, you need depth, dude. You know what they did in the postseason? They used nobody off their bench. They had no options off their bench. Mm-hmm. None. I kind of like, you have to look at this too. You go into the next season, it's not going to be the same day one as it is day 162. Like we saw. You're going to need depth. Things are going to happen. Injuries, trades, whatever. So you can't just go into a regular season with like nobody on your bench. And I think Profar is a very, very good bench piece and a solid backup if there's an injury somewhere.
I agree with that. I wonder if I'm Jurickson Profar, though, am I opting in to be a bench piece? Because you know what's to come. I mean, you know Tatis is coming back.
Yeah. But do you think? But realistically, if they reassign Profar, I highly doubt that he is going to play like 20 games. Like he'll be a guy that plays like 130 games. He'll probably get 300 at bats.
Oh yeah, more than that. More than 300.
You know what I mean? Like it's not going to be a situation where he's just buried on the bench if you're a bench piece.
Yeah, I mean, again, I thought he had a nice year, but when you look back on it, like he hit like a lot of early home runs. He made some good defensive plays in left. He showed off a good arm. He had a lot of assists. But again, I don't know if it's not replicatable, so to speak, if not improvable heading into 2023. And to your point, like if you're just bringing these guys back in a belief that you're going to be better in 2023, I just don't know if Jurickson Profar is like the guy I got to have back in 2023. But I can make a case either way. I get the point. I'm not saying the guy's terrible, but I just don't know if I absolutely have to have him back. We do want to remind you about our title sponsor here on the wrap-up show. That is Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance. We've been doing this channel for well over a year now, thanks to the support of Mark at Farmers Insurance. Whether you need auto, home, renters, life, or earthquake insurance, Mark is your guy. I have my homeowners and my earthquake through Mark. He can save you $750 or more just by switching over to him. He's a lifelong Padres fan. He's a San Diegan. He lives and dies on this team. We've been chatting throughout the offseason already. The next time you have a renewal for insurance, before you just renew, please get in contact with Mark. He'll talk to you about your insurance. He'll save you money. We'll talk to you about the Padres as well. Again, auto, home, renters, life, earthquake insurance. If you're looking to support a local business that does business with us, if you're looking to ever save thousands of dollars if you have a claim like I did earlier this year, you got to go with Mark Nimitz. The website, there's a link to it down below. If you're watching right now on YouTube, there's a link down below. Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance. Get a quote online. Find out all the products that he offers. He can save you money. And Mark, thank you for your support of this channel.
Yeah, all his information's above my head. mnimitz at farmersagent.com. When you reach out to him, let him know that Jon and Jim from the wrap-up show sent you.
All right, so thank you again, Mark. Thank you to Matt for the first super of the day. We're with you guys for another 15 minutes or so. So if you want to make sure we get your comment, if you want to support this channel, we appreciate the supers. If you're watching on replay, you can do the super thanks as well. And make sure to subscribe. Live or on replay, you have to subscribe to this channel. We have year-round Padres content for you. Matt, thank you very much. Thank you for hanging out with us. He says, I think Preller will pull off a Musgrove-like trade to upgrade the rotation. Guy with decent numbers, with tons of upside, and Diablo will work his magic. And I think, Matt, that's a very good call and absolutely a possibility. I think a lot of it hinges on Martinez, right? Because I feel like if Martinez comes back, a lot of that might be to serve as a starter, right? At least to start the year. No more Mackenzie Gore, no more Mike Clevenger in all likelihood, no more Sean Manaea in all likelihood. Therefore, Martinez's initial role is likely in the rotation.
Right. And you need innings. So, 180 innings from Darvish and Musgrove, right? That's what you're assuming. And then 130 tops from Snell. I think you can get 130 to 140 innings from Nick Martinez. You're going to need another guy. And I kind of agree with Matt, is we've seen when Preller looks at this roster and says thinks like there's a good shot that this could be something, he goes all in. And, with the uncertainty about Juan Soto's future, the uncertainty about Manny's future, to be honest, as well, after next season, that could drive Preller to make a big time move, knowing like, well, who, I don't know if we're going to be able to sign Soto, and he might know more. Obviously, he knows more than we do about Manny, but maybe he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't know what Manny's going to do next offseason. So, and with that thinking in mind, okay, I have to go all in this year because this could be the last year we have Soto, Manny, and Tatis all in this roster.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see it.
Good point. Yeah. I hope not, but that's
Me
a good
too.
point. Maybe you have to look at it like that if you're the GM of the team, though.
Right, because you
cover all your bases.
Exactly, because the only guarantee right now, is that you have Soto for 2 years and you have Manny for next
For
year
one.
for one. That's it. Like that's not there's no guarantee that Manny opts back in. I think he might, but who knows? I don't know. Like, and who knows about Soto? Like, you could offer Soto $450 million and you could turn it down.
Yeah, is that a priority, by the way? We've talked a little bit about that. Like when you think about offseason priorities, and is it even realistic that Juan Soto would sign a deal this offseason? But you listen to what AJ Preller and Peter Seidler have said publicly, and it sounds as if they'd love to get to the table with Juan Soto sooner rather than later. They probably want to know about their future with him, just like Manny Machado is going to want to know, or Fernando Tatis Jr. is under contract is going to want to know.
I do think that they won't do that this offseason. I think next offseason is the full court press on Soto. Because you don't want to go into next year with Soto not signing an extension, and all the questions are about his free agency.
Yeah, I think the Padres would do it this offseason. I just don't know if Juan Soto would do it this offseason. I don't think there's any question the Padres would do it this offseason based on what Preller and Seidler are saying.
No, I agree with that. I'm just saying, like, I don't think the Padres
Soto
and Soto will go full court press, like all in, talking about this until next offseason.
Yeah, maybe not. And then there's the interesting
Soto needs to have a better year.
For his argument, you know what I mean, to get the maximized value. If you're the Padres, you want to have those conversations right now. And then there's Japan. Gil, I think it's a really good point. I mean, you're going to hear the name Kodai Senga a lot, who's like 29 years of age. He's pitched maybe 10 years or so professionally. He's due to make something like 12 or 15 a year, I want to say. There's some other names as well that you're going to hear out of Japan. So there's the expensive route, right? Rodon, DeGrom, buy it. There's the inexpensive route. Find a Sean Manaea via trade. There's the inexpensive route of Nick Martinez. Then there's the in-between, which is like a mid-tier starter. Kodai Senga, maybe more than in-between. A flyer starter in the $8 to $12 million price point. There's the really cheap Jay Groom you just traded for in the Eric Hosmer deal. Mm-hmm. Ryan Weathers, who was awful. Reese Kinnear, who provided you no value last year. Adrian Morejon, who was coming off Tommy John. So, like, you got the dirt cheap internal options. You have the mid-tier options. You have the break the bank options. I would think they'd start mid-tier and internal before they looked at a player that's going to cost them, $50, $75, $100 million. Because that, to me, just seems unlikely based on their spending over the last couple of years.
But here's the thing about internal. They're not good enough.
So you're punting on all of them? We haven't even seen. Like, Morejon's coming off Tommy John.
Do you trust Morejon to give you 100+ innings in a year?
No, of course not. But a combo of, like, Weathers bounce back with this lefty Jay Groom that I've mentioned his name like 100 times the last, week.
Yeah, they're not good enough.
How do you know? We haven't seen Jay Groom. At one point, we would have said, like, whomever's not good enough. I mean, at some point, you got to develop your young players, right? Like, they gave a lot of money to Adrian Morejon internationally, right?
If Jay Groom is starting a postseason game next year, I'll literally give someone in this chat like $10,000.
But we're talking now about the 5th starter. You need 5 starters to get there. Once you're in, maybe Nick Martinez is your 4th starter. Maybe.
Well, guess what? We saw every single one of their starters in the postseason, and it wasn't great.
Well, we shouldn't have seen Sean Manaea and Mike Clevenger. So our point is this: we're trying to upgrade. Right? You're trying to upgrade there. Shoot, if Martinez was built up, you could make an argument in game. What game was it against the Phillies? If Martinez wasn't a 3-inning guy, but was a 5-inning guy, we wouldn't have had the problems with Clevenger and Manaea in that game.
And the reason,
but he wasn't a starter.
And then the reason why Martinez was in the bullpen was because they needed bullpen help.
Yeah.
So that's another thing too, is like you need bullpen help to make sure they don't have to think about putting Nick Martinez in the bullpen if you re-signed him.
Sure. And like you said, there's going to be, there's twists. The 162 games.
Oh my God.
It's not like you just got 5 starters.
No.
It's not like you go sign tomorrow, even like Carlos Rodon. You're like, oh, we're good. Things can happen.
But they did really well last year with Darvish, Musgrove, Snell, Clevenger, Manaea, and Martinez being pretty much the only guys they started, and Mackenzie Gore while he was here.
Yeah, he was healthy until he wasn't for the first half of the year.
So they needed 7 starters to make it through a season,
which is pretty good.
and then he still only won 89 games. I mean, only, but still, they won 89 games with 7 pretty reliable starters, you would say.
Yeah, I mean, Martinez, but look at it. Martinez heading into the year and Gore heading into the year were question marks. So, like, I'm just thinking in 2023, you're going to head in with one of your starters as a question mark, would be my guess. That's how I would look at it. Bro,
stop it. Stop.
I got it, right? If I've handled it for the entire chat, I got it.
Okay.
John, thank you for the super. He says, just got here. Have we talked about slugging, first base, outfielders, bench depth, LFGSD? John, thank you. We've talked a little bit about slugging. Jim wants to address it by putting Jurickson Profar at first.
No, you idiot. I didn't say that.
So I think you're adding, think about this. If Fernando Tatis Jr. is 80% of Fernando Tatis Jr., then he's an 850 OPS hitter, which is a huge upgrade over basically everyone other than Manny Machado and Juan Soto. So you're adding slug. Do you need to add another slug bat? Yes. How do you do that? Is it Brandon Drury for a full season? Is he going to replicate it, hit 25 to 30 home runs? Is it Josh Bell? Is he going to replicate Washington, not San Diego, and hit 25 home runs and have an OPS of 900? I think they need that one additional OPS piece. They're not going to be the Phillies next year, or the Dodgers, with their lineup, in my opinion. But adding Tatis and one additional OPS piece, I think makes the lineup significantly better.
And if you go into next year and Tatis gives you what you think you're going to get, Tatis is still a huge question mark of what you're going to get from him next year, honestly. And so if you get Tatis next year, even 80% or 90%, 80% of his 2021 year, I think that's pretty damn good. Right? You get a bounce back Juan Soto that's going to give you a 900 OPS, and you get another 280, 30 home run, 95 plus RBI season from Manny. Maybe that's all you need
with your pitching,
and then you just fill in the gaps, and then you're still going to have Cronenworth. Hopefully, Cronenworth had a good year, but he could have a better year. Like this year wasn't the greatest year for Cronenworth. I know he had almost 90 RBIs, but I mean his OPS wasn't where you would think it should be, and his average wasn't that great. He could have a better year. So if you have Cronenworth have a better season, that you have 4 guys in your lineup that are all stars, like it's pretty good.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. John, thank you for the super. We do want to remind you about our partnership with our friends over at Aura. If you want 30% off your first order, go there right now, ora.organic. Click this Build Your Routine button. You're getting 30% off your first order. Great company. Their co-founder, Will, is a San Diegan. They have offices in Liberty Station. These are all plant-based nutritional products. I just took a probiotic this morning from Aura. I've been taking one for probably 5 or 6 months at this point. They have proteins for after workouts, pre-workout supplements, omega-3 oils, so much more, sleep pills, immunity pills, just unbelievable products. Again, Will, their co-founder, is a huge Padres fan. Click shop as you watch live or on replay. Browse all their products. Get healthier this year, yourself, your family, your friends. ORA.organic. 30% off your first order. Click Build Your Routine. Again, probiotics to proteins, whatever you need to get healthier. Heading into 2023, make sure to check out their website and save money through the wrap-up show. Thank you, Aura, for your support.
Yeah, go there right now. They have everything you need to live a healthy lifestyle. www.aura.organic. 30% off your first order when you build your routine. You will thank us later.
One other thing that I wanted to mention, and now I forget what it is. It was on the tip of my tongue for like 10 minutes. It was so critical.
Oh, really?
It was the big off-season piece that everyone was going to be talking about. Maybe we'll have to talk about it now at 3:00 on the radio.
Maybe.
So we're going to be doing 3 shows a week for you in the off-season on the wrap-up show. So as news breaks, and of course the World Series is going on, but as things develop, guys opt in or opt out, we will have shows for you. Most of our shows will take place late morning live. Of course, they're available to you at any point on replay. That's why you should subscribe. Make sure to subscribe. Hit the notification bell. You're notified when we have new videos. Smash the like button for us as well. Follow us on Twitter at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. We appreciate the supers and the members. You can click join to become a member of this channel, but there's a lot to work out, obviously. I will say this, Jim. The core. I feel like they've got a core that is as good as they've maybe ever had, with Darvish and Musgrove and Snell. Snell coming off this good second half. Hader now added to the core. Cronenworth, Tatis, Machado, Soto. I mean, this is a legitimate core. 8, 9, 10 guys heading into 2023. It's just about building on that group.
Yeah, I mean, you can put Hassan Kim in there. I think he is getting better, and he's going to be starting shortstop next season. So you're right. You have, three legitimate starters: Snell, Musgrove, Darvish. You have the lockdown closer in Josh Hader. You have the top 3 of your order set: Tatis, Soto, Manny. You have some complementary pieces that are really good in Jake Cronenworth and Ha-Seong Kim. But you also need to just that's a good start. That is a great freaking start. And you can worry now about, okay, what are we gonna do at catcher? What are we gonna do at first base? We need to figure out the Grisham situation. We need bullpen help, but I believe in Preller to get bullpen help. Like he's done. Preller, if one thing about Preller is every single season, he has done such a good job with the bullpen.
Yeah, I agree with you. And he does it cost effectively.
Yeah. And
which is why Josh Hader will not be back after 2023. I can promise you that.
Correct. But, that is one part about Preller as a GM that I have full faith in, is that he will get a good bullpen. And they have.
True? What? If you look at the tip of your tongue, something you forget will come back to you, or is he trying to get me to just stick my tongue out?
I don't know. Try it.
I can't see it. Is that the point?
Oh my God, we're already off to a just great
start. What an off season it's going to be.
Jesus.
By the way, if you don't want to watch the wrap-up show, but you want to listen because you are driving, because you are working out, because you're on the move, we are the official podcast of FriersOnBase.com. We're presented by Eric Lanier at Higher Impact Financial and HigherImpactFinancial.com. Eric's a San Diegan. If you're wondering if you're financially strong enough to leave your corporate job and start your own business, or if you're tired of being surprised by how many taxes you owe every year, get in contact with Eric. He can also help make sure your family is protected by helping you get a trust established. Give Eric a call, and you can get $200 off a trust. The number is 951-383-3033. 951-383-3033. Here to help Padres fans. We'll talk to you about your finances and about the Padres heading into next season. Advisory services are offered through WealthTech Partners, a registered investment advisor that only conducts business in states where it is properly registered or is excluded from registration requirements. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Investing involves risk and possible loss of principal capital. Join us at 3. If you missed what Kevin Acee had to say about Manny Machado Friday on Jon and Jim, it was actually very eye-opening. He says it's a very real possibility. And that's correct, Big Island Bum. And hopefully we'll be there. Although that's a really interesting couple of days, Jim, I want to say. Because we have the Give-a-thon, I want to say, that week as well.
Oh, so
there's
zero chance we're there.
No, we were there the last time we had the Give-a-thon at the same time, just not the whole time. So hopefully we will be there. But if you missed what Kevin Acee had to say about Manny Machado and the opt-out, join us at 3 p.m. on Jon and Jim. We'll be back with you later this week for another edition of the wrap-up show this off-season. Again, subscribe, live or replay. Please subscribe for us. Smash the like button. Follow us on Twitter at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD.
Oh, hold on.
Pull up Jake here before we roll. Jake, good to have you back with us, by the way. Oh, Alex is here. Everyone's here right now. Jake says, how much is Drury to bring back? Do we want him? What do you think, Jim? Multiple years, right?
Multiple years. 15 million, maybe. Like it's one of those things where he had a career year last year off, like, power wise. And can he duplicate that? I don't know. And he played
every day.
And most of those numbers were generated in Cincinnati. So
you think 15 for 2 or 15 per year? He made nothing this year, literally.
I think 10 to 15 per year, maybe more.
Because of that power and that slug, and because he's versatile.
Yep.
Yeah, he had a 813 OPS. Yeah, I think you're probably right. I'll say 2 for 24, Jake. Will they do that? 2 for 24? Is that too much money? 2 for 20? Thank you, Jake, and thank you, Alex. It says he saw Ruben Diablo out this weekend. Well, remember, his daughter goes to San Diego State. So he will be here year-round, presumably. Where'd you see him?
Out, John.
Well, where? Was it at Jim's Halloween party?
Yeah.
That he was at?
Yes.
I love it, Chad. That sounds good. We'll get you the credential. You can cover it when we're not there.
Perfect.
Tourist says that's a crazy overpay. Yeah, are you going to pay more for Drury than you pay for Profar?
Exactly. Yeah,
That's the question.
Yeah,
that's the question.
So,
all right, we're out of here. We got to go. We have a Halloween party to get to. Thank you. Please subscribe. We'll see you later this week. Appreciate the supers. Thank you guys for hanging out. And the busy offseason for the San Diego Padres is underway. We'll catch you up on the radio at 3 p.m. Thanks, guys.